Rockin' Royal, rockin' Navy, know y'all with me, let's get it, baby, Rockin' Royal, rockin' Navy.
Welcome back to another edition of the Rockin' Royal Basketball Show. That's right, we're stepping away from football, we're stepping away from the soccer pitch. We're going to talk hoop right now because it is, in my mind, officially basketball season. We're about, a week-ish out, a little more than a week out from Big 12 Media Days in Kansas City, where you'll hear a lot from Kevin Young, BYU men's basketball, Amber Whiting, BYU women's basketball, a bunch of players, a couple of coaches from around the conference and whatnot. And so to get ready for it, I wanted to have a little bit of a conversation with a special guest, the newest member of the BYU women's basketball coaching staff. I've tried to practice this for the last 20 minutes, and I'm probably going to butcher the name on mic, on record, but new BYU women's basketball assistant coach / recruiting coordinator, Jordan Loera. Welcome to Provo, Jordan.
Thank you. You nailed it. You said it right.
I got it?
Yes. Last name can be tricky, but yeah, thank you. Just excited to be here. Been here for a little over a month now, and really just diving into preseason and getting ready for our first couple of games coming up.
Well, let's get into that a little bit because you are the newest assistant coach on staff, joining Coach Whiting's staff. She kind of shoveled some positions and some titles and whatnot, and then brought you over from Eastern Washington most recently, where you were part of a really incredible run in program history over there with the Eagles. We'll get into that in a little bit in a minute. But I kind of wanted to start off with what brought you to BYU? What kind of stood out to you about this BYU job? You saw it. I don't know if somebody reached out to you, Coach Whiting or somebody else, or what kind of sort of brought you, I'll say, back to the state of Utah, because you got a little bit of experience here, but to BYU specifically.
Yeah, for sure. So, yes, I've been in Utah before, did my master's here at SUU in Cedar City, but I think just in this profession you are always just looking for opportunities and growth opportunities and just personal growth and just development. And I had great conversations initially with Coach Whiting and then all of the coaching staff just kind of leading up to, I guess, my official offer. But just I came here for an interview, just campus, to meet everybody, and it's almost like recruiting. You kind of just get a good feeling like this seems like a great situation. What Coach Whiting is building here, and I knew I wanted to be a part of that. And so when she called me and offered, and I definitely remember where I was in that day, and it just kind of was just exciting to even think about that. So I think really just those initial conversations with all of the coaches and really being upfront with, okay, what do you want? What are you looking for? And then here's kind of my expectations, and it all just kind of fit with where, I wanted to kind of take my coaching career.
You kind of touched on your new boss, Coach Whiting, Amber Whiting, head coach here at BYU. What jumped out so much about her, and was it her personality or her coaching style, her recruiting style? What jumped out so much where you were excited to work with her like that, like you're saying?
Yeah, our first really conversation on the phone, because as coaches you know of people and you hear just about people, but our just first conversation, we talked a long time, and it was about everything. It was about the sport, about things outside of basketball, just really learning about each other. And I think through that your personality comes out, and we're laughing and we're just kind of off topic about the job. And I think that's just really huge. Of you want people around you that you work with just to have that whole just family kind of aspect, right? And so we just, I think her personality, you could just tell just her passion for the game and her passion for this team, and that was just initially something that popped out as well. So
one thing that Coach Whiting brings up when talking about you, and I won't lie, I did a little bit of a deep dive, kind of looked into your background, saw what other coaches were saying about you, some of your former players said about you and whatnot. But the word I kept hearing back from both Coach and a couple of other spots was relationships. You're a big relationship person, and I think that speaks to kind of who you are as a recruiter as well. You've been a pretty dynamic recruiter in your career and whatnot. So let's just speak to that. Is it safe to assume you're a people person then?
Very, yes, very. Love my people. I love, new people, I took some time away from basketball when I graduated college and just kind of traveled and did different things. So I just love just meeting new people. Everyone's so different and dynamic, and really, yes, it comes down just to those relationships. And I think I have my family to kind of lean on and thank for that. We just grew up super tight-knit, just with my cousins, my uncles, my grandparents. We were all just in the same area. Very lucky to have that. And, just knowing how important those relationships are just when you do move 3 states away, or when you are kind of in a different spot. And then especially, yes, with recruiting, right? You want student athletes just to feel good and great about stepping away from home and joining a new family. So really comes down to those conversations about basketball, yes, but also just everything outside of basketball, just life conversations, and that's just always just a huge, huge thing.
Recruiting never officially stops. I know you've only been on the job for a month, but have you been able to dip your toe a little bit into kind of the recruiting pool of around BYU and potential, I won't say full-on prospects, but potential prospects kind of thing?
PSAs, yes. Yes, I have. I've been traveling for recruiting, just getting things kind of organized for our staff as far as, who we want here, who we like here, just different things like that without going into it too much. But, yeah, just definitely been starting with that from the jump, which has been great. I like that part a lot. So.
For sure. Well, you're coming off of a pretty great run during your time as an assistant at Eastern Washington. Program record 29 wins last year. That set a Big Sky mark. The Eagles were really good. Won a Big Sky tournament title. Went to the NCAA tournament. All sorts of kind of record marks. What was so special about that group that obviously led to you kind of being able to make the jump to a Big 12 program?
Yeah, just you're asking just the group, the team, kind of
the team, the players, the coaching staff, the administration, all that.
Yeah, I think we as a coaching staff, we all got there at the same time. So that was 3 years ago, and building a program up to really get to what Coach Jody just kind of saw as her program, right? So we're doing that together. The girls, we were really fortunate after last, previous seasons. After our second year, we didn't lose a lot of players, which is very rare nowadays. A lot of people are jumping around, moving, but we just had a lot of that same core. We had a couple great additions, but just creating that culture and really that relation-based culture. And just around the mindset of these girls just wanted to work and wanted to win, and we just stuck it out for the whole season. And even some of those later games we had, we were down, but I think just the seniority of that team, they were just able to kind of pick themselves up through that. And so and for me, that was awesome just to see those girls achieve that. A lot of those girls haven't been in big moments, cutting down nets, confetti falling, and then getting to the NCAA tournament. So that was just really exciting to see that for our team, our girls, our staff, our school, great representation there. And then, and just being here now, you cherish those memories, and you'll hold on to those forever. And even the team back at Eastern, when I left, I just said, but you're really you just let me know if you need anything forever, right? It's just like that relationship piece, just building with that team, and so excited for sure just to create that here, right? Just different relationships, different experience, and that's always the goal, right? Is to win, make it to the tournament, those kind of things, but really just creating an experience and getting our girls that kind of experience along the same lines. So
I'm really glad you brought that up, and you touched on your time at Eastern, being able to keep the core of your roster together for 2-3 years. It's so rare in today's era of college basketball. There's so much player movement, transfer portal, all of that stuff. But what do you think was kind of the number one key to sort of building that culture where players don't necessarily feel like at the end of the season they need to, take a look around, examine all of their options, see what else is out there, that kind of thing, but to kind of want to stick around the program?
Yeah, and I think all of that, it does fall back on relationships, really. Just that culture style of us coaches realizing like every player is different, and every player is coached differently, and every player just needs something different on the court, off the court. And I think just as a group, we really emphasized, having conversations with every player about basketball, not about basketball, just really being approachable and making sure those girls just knew that they could come to us for anything and go to each other for things. We I think really emphasized having our team do things together outside of the gym, with us, without us, just kind of creating those situations for them to build that chemistry. And at the end of the day, I always think it's all about fit. And I think sometimes seasons end if girls decide to leave, like, wish the very best for them always. And that's always a very personal decision. So, just with that group, keeping those girls to stay, again, I just think it was the conversations we had prior to the end of the season, as far as making sure they know that they're heard, they're respected, all those kinds of things. So,
yeah, for sure. Before you were a coach at Eastern Washington, now at BYU, a couple of other stops, Southern Utah, some high school coaching, that kind of thing. You were also a pretty good baller at Oregon. I looked up your tape.
You looked up
I looked up there are some highlights. YouTube has a lot of interesting videos out there. You can find a lot on the YouTube.
Oh my God.
The word I think I'd best use to describe your playing style was sharpshooter. You like to shoot the three ball a lot?
I love shooting the ball.
Yeah, you're a 3-point shooter. Are you that kind of a coach? Is that sort of your game plan when you look at like on court coaching, is working with the guards and shooting and that sort of thing?
I've even at Southern Utah, I worked close with our post coach,
Really?
And even in high school I was a point guard. And sometime at Oregon I was playing more of that point guard spot, but more off the ball. So I just think with that I have just kind of a wide array of just different perspective into each position, and so I think, everybody's a great shooter. Everybody can be a great shooter. Put the time in, put the work in, and I think it's really just what our coaching staff needs, right? So yes, I'm talking to everyone that shoots the ball, but also just to our post players, all sorts of people. But I have a little bit of a shooter's touch. I've been with some shooting coaches in my life, so naturally you I guess you can kind of see and really dissect a shot and figure that out. But our team has amazing shooters. I'm excited to work with all of them across the board.
She's being a little modest, so I'll just insert right here. Program record 3-pointers made at Oregon as a freshman. Program record for 3-pointers by a freshman. I'm not sure if it's still up. It might still be up. I didn't look that deep into it, I won't lie, but yeah. Yeah, they've had a couple of players as well, but Coach Loera was a baller back in the day. She was a shooter. She was a baller shot caller.
Shot caller.
As they like to say.
About your shoes, though. I do like that they help you with hunting, but go Ducks
you're talking
forever.
You're talking about my bright orange?
Go Ducks forever.
Oh, because they got the Oregon
They're
State colors
orange.
going on. Yeah,
It's all right.
We'll talk a little bit more about that off mic. It's part of my alma mater as well.
I like it.
I'm not a Beaver. Don't worry. I'm very much not an Oregon State guy.
Beavers.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
When it comes to this roster, and I like that you touched on it a little bit. You do have a lot of shooting. Just in general, though, you've got a lot of really good guards on this roster.
Yes.
I'm thinking of players like Amari Whiting, Ari Mackey-Williams, who's coming back off of an injury. Delaney Gibb. I love Delaney's game. You want to talk about a shooter. She's got shots. Camry Barber, Kemry. I almost said Martina again, but she just got married. I'm going to eventually have to change that. Kongbin, I think, is, I've known her since she was like a sophomore in high school. She's always been Kemry Martine, so that's going to be a little bit of a change for me. But with these guards like that, do you like kind of the clay that you can see with some of them when you talk about everybody can be a shooter and sort of developing some more shot callers, I guess?
Shot callers, yes. Yeah, I've just in this month I've been here, right? Yeah. It's just the there's no top, right? Their ceilings are so high, and you can tell just practice, right? Work ethic, the amount of time they put in the gym before, after practice. Some of that is monitored by us, but we have views of the court from our office, but you can see all of them are down there getting shots up. And that, I think, work ethic, that schedule just builds confidence, and that's what it is at the end of the day with shooting. And it is just for guard play, post play, it's that for everything. So, our guards, our posts, just our team, really, it's just the grit that they show and have every day, stepping in and out, whether, practices, are up and down like this, but at the end of practice, we're always looking up, and there's just every day is better than the last. So, I'm excited to work with all those guards, all those girls for sure.
And even a couple of shooters in the post there. I know Kendra in particular likes to kind of step out and show off her shot some, so maybe a little bit of that as well, right? Yeah,
exactly, yeah, and that's what I said, right? You have that confidence, right? The confidence of, I've been putting time in the gym, I've met my shooting goals for the week. That's the conversations as coaches we have with these players. Like, you put this work in, you miss a shot, big deal, go hit the next one or the next one. So it's those kind of conversations as well. So yeah.
Well, let me get you out of here on this, because I didn't want to talk only basketball with you, but you have been in Provo for about a month now, so you're acclimated, you're adjusted, you're getting to work, hitting the recruiting trails, and traveling a little bit as well there, while also getting ready for banger of a 24-25 season. I think Big 12 women's basketball this year could be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll meet a little bit later. We'll go into competition and all of that stuff, but that's a conversation for another day, I think, because I did want to touch on some non-basketball stuff. What's been your favorite thing about Provo, Utah, moving back to the Beehive State? Just kind of your favorite thing about this area, I guess. And then I don't want to get too positive, so what's one thing that maybe took you a minute to get used to, where you were like, wait, hold on, that's a thing around here? Like, a lot of people, I'll throw them under the bus some. They see their first drive-through soda shop, the Swigs or the Sodalicious of the world. Not a sponsor, could be. But they're like, wait, what is this? This is weird. So, was there something there where you go, I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is here?
I was in Cedar City, so I was familiar with that in Cedar City. So that wasn't too out of the norm, but just the area here, I'm just looking at these mountains east, right? Like, that will never get old. And I think that's one thing that was, even on my drive to work, I see that every day. And it's almost like it brings you to your center a little bit, just like calming for me almost. And it's probably people that have been here for a long time. It's like when you live by the beach, right? You're by the beach, used to it. People that come, they're like, oh my gosh, the ocean, but it's like that for the mountains for me. So I think that part is great. Like, I love being outside skiing. I got into skiing when I finished playing basketball. So, and I'm a very casual skier, sunshine. I'm not muscling through storms, I'm wearing.
You're not going up in the blizzard.
No, not the blizzards. Okay. I'll wear my sunglasses. It's just the bluebird days. But something that was surprising though.
Sunglasses, no goggles on the ski slope though.
Sunglasses, if I can, yeah. The goggles, that means the snow's blowing in all directions. Yeah. I want bluebird day. I might get a little suntan, something like that. I've lived in Spokane, and Spokane's pretty big, but from Provo to, Orem, American Fork, just traffic. It's not crazy bad, but that's something that I'm not just used to yet. I guess that would be.
There's a little bit more traffic, you're saying, around here?
Yeah, there's more people. There's more traffic, more people.
In Utah County.
I guess,
there are just over 1 million people in Utah County, so, it shouldn't surprise any of us.
Yeah, for me, that's just a little new. But, yeah, I don't know. Everything else, I think, is in and out. I love that in and out's here. I love in and out. Yeah. Every once in a while, but.
The in and out, again, not a sponsor, but could be. Call me. You've got my number. The in and out on University Parkway here in Orem gets hopping late at night with mostly BYU students. So
yeah, people want their goods, their drive-through goods.
You need the.
Yeah.
100%. Jordan Loera, newest assistant basketball coach for the BYU women's basketball program. Their season starts. I'm trying to pull up the schedule right now a little bit on the fly. But their season starts Tuesday, October 29th in an exhibition game against Westminster, and then it gets going for real November 6th against Idaho. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time and joining me to get to know you a little bit.
Thank you so much.
We don't play around with no oops. Or them Aggies up in Ogden, they not rocking how we rocking. Rockin' Navy, rockin' Royal, rock your hands. Rockabye babies, rock the stands with the fans. If you with us, raise your hands. Rockabye baby, rockin' Navy. Shout out to my teams, wives and babies. Rockin' Royal, rockin' Navy. Know you with me. Let's get it, baby. Rockin' Royal, rockin' Navy. Know you with me. Let's get it, baby.